You're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So congratulations to Triple G. He gets another TKO victory over Martin Murray. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the good things he did in this fight. And let's talk about some of the openings that he left for better fighters in the future. Now, I was really impressed with Gennady Golovkin's relentless pressure and his accuracy, his selection of punches to throw at the right time. I mean, if you sit there and you don't punch and you just shell up, Gennady Golovkin is going to find an opening. You know, if you have that real nice shelled up defense, he'll go around the guard. He'll go over up top. He'll throw a looping little hook on top of your head. He'll hit you with a nice little body shot as you try to move off the ropes like he caught Martin Murray with. He caught him with a real nice hook to the body as Martin Murray was trying to slide off the ropes. So he has a great selection of punches. He has the power. He is a very relentless fighter, right? But when I watch this performance, it begs the question, which is, if a fighter like Martin Murray can go 11 rounds and can land combinations pretty much whenever he wanted to on Gennady Golovkin, but he doesn't have the power nor the speed or the skill set of, maybe a much better fighter in the middleweight or the super middleweight division, the question is, how would they do against Gennady Golovkin? And I'm not just talking about Andre Ward. I'm even talking about Miguel Cotto. Now, I know the perception is Miguel Cotto is too small for Golovkin. And that may or may not be the case. But yet at the same time, I believe that Miguel Cotto, I'm not going to say he will win the fight, but I believe that Miguel Cotto, he would really expose Golovkin a lot more than Martin Murray did. Martin Murray, obviously, he had a little bit of success in the fight. But I was saying the same thing that Roy Jones was saying, at the same time he was saying it, which is this fight would probably be a lot different if Martin Murray had power. Because, see, one thing I notice about Golovkin is now, like I said, if you're just moving away from him and, you're allowing him to be first, Golovkin looks great. But what I notice is whenever you attack Golovkin doesn't exchange with you. He pretty much likes to take turns. You're going to attack me, and I'm going to attack you harder. If you're going to throw a 4 or 5 punch combination, Golovkin, he's going to sit there. He's going to eat some of the punches, and not intentionally, because he doesn't have the greatest defense, but he's going to eat some of the shots. He's going to block some of the shots, and then he's going to be like, okay, it's my turn. He doesn't really counter you that often, which gives a much better fighter a major opportunity to slow down Golovkin's attack. Like I said, Martin Murray did not have the power nor the speed to really slow down Golovkin's attack. You could tell that Golovkin, he pretty much wasn't worried about Martin Murray's power at all. Matter of fact, the later the rounds went on, Golovkin, he would just put his hands down because he wasn't worried about the power. And if you listen to the post-fight interview with Max Kellerman, it's funny because Golovkin, he actually started to say that. But then he kind of, retracted, and then he just said, I don't care about what my opponent is doing. But he started to say that, Martin Murray didn't really have power. So the point that I'm making is that was the difference in this fight. Now, the good news is I do believe that Golovkin is the best middleweight in the world right now. Matter of fact, the last time I made a top 10 pound for pound, I actually even had Golovkin in my top 10. That was a while ago. But I believe that he's the best middleweight right now, okay? Yet at the same time, it is very obvious that if Martin Murray could land the type of combinations that he landed on Golovkin, then I believe that fighters like Edislani Lara, Demetrius Andrade, if he were to move up, of course Andre Ward, these type of fighters would give Gennady Golovkin that Kasim Uma type of fight. Okay? So hopefully Golovkin, he can get in the ring with an A level or a B plus level fighter. I really want to see how he's going to deal with that level of opposition. The whole thing is, if Gennady Golovkin, if he can't get some of these middleweights in the ring, then he's going to have to start taking on the fighters that are calling him out. Doesn't that make sense? I mean, we know Golovkin wants Cotto, and I would love to see that fight. I would love to see him against Cotto, against Canelo, right? But if, or even Peter Quillen. But if none of those fighters want to fight against Golovkin, and you have Lara calling you out, and you have Andre Ward calling you out, then why don't you fight the guys that are calling you out if the guys you're calling out don't want to fight you? And let me just go back to that taking turns type of aggression that Golovkin applies. The danger with doing that is, you get used to people attacking you first, and then you say, okay, now it's my turn. And then your plan is to eventually knock them out, hurt them. They attack you, you eat their punches, but then you come back with something more fierce, right? But the problem with taking turns is the better the competition gets, you end up letting those guys attack first. They end up landing shots, and then when it's your turn, you can't find them, right? Kind of like what we seen in the Mayweather versus Diego Corrales fight. Because I remember Diego Corrales, he had that mentality where he would always basically say, oh yeah, they're gonna win a couple rounds, and then eventually I'm gonna catch up with them. And then once I catch up with them, I'm gonna knock them out because they're gonna feel my power. The question is, you give the wrong person a head start, what if you can't catch up with them? What if they were already naturally faster than you before you gave them a head start in the race? You see what I'm saying? We'll see what happens when Gennady Golovkin steps up in competition. So with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Golovkin versus Lemieux next. I mean, it would be a decent fight, but I really want to see Golovkin get in the ring with one of these A-level fighters eventually. But overall, it was a great performance against the opponent that he was in the ring with tonight. So that's pretty much all I got for now. I'm on to the next one.